Hey YouTube, welcome back to another Film Geek Movie Spotlight. Today I'm talking about the 2001 film 3,000 Miles to Graceland.
As a kid, I don't know. Looks like he knows you.
Murph, just because that kid's packing heat doesn't make him my partner.
That's right. I'm your partner. You ready to play?
Always ready to play, Murph.
3,000 Miles to Graceland is directed by Damien Lichtenstein, and it has one hell of a cast. Check this out. Kurt Russell, Kevin Costner, Courtney Cox, Christian Slater, Kevin Pollak, David Arquette, and then some cameos from Howie Long, John Lovitz, and Ice-T. 3,000 Miles from Graceland is about a group of guys who pull off a heist during the International Elvis Convention in Las Vegas. Yep, 5 guys dressed up like Elvis rob a casino. At this moment in the video, I'd like to say that it is one crazy windy night here in Kansas City. So if you hear some weird whistling sounds in the background, that's just the wind about to knock my apartment building over. 3,000 Miles from Graceland was not well received by critics or audiences. In fact, the film was nominated for 5 Golden Raspberry Awards, including Worst Picture, Worst Actor for Costner, Worst Supporting Actress Courtney Cox, Worst Screenplay, and Worst Screen Couple for either Kurt Russell or Kevin Costner, or Kurt Russell and Courtney Cox. But the film failed to win any of these categories. The film was also nominated for 5 Stinkers Bad Movie Awards, including Worst Picture, Worst Actor Kevin Costner, Worst Supporting Actress, Most Annoying Fake Accent Female, Courtney Cox, and Most Annoying Onstage Group, the Elvis Impersonators, but it also failed to win any of those categories. 3,000 Miles from Graceland was released February 23, 2001, and it grossed $18.7 million on a $62 million budget. And I'm proud to say that I'm part of that $18.7 million, thank you very much. The film was also, well, as I said, a critical flop, and it's currently sitting on the tomatoes that are so rotten they smell like poo at a 14%. Now, I'm sorry, I don't feel this film justifies a 14%. So what do I like about this movie? Okay, man, this movie is a plain guilty pleasures film. Is this a good movie? Not in the traditional sense. Is it a good concept? Yes! Are the performances really weird and unhinged and kind of fun to watch? Yes! Is this a perfect movie? Oh no, this movie definitely has its flaws. One of the things about this movie that's really weird is the tone of the film. It's like the movie really doesn't know what it wants to be, and it never succeeds at being much of anything. And I think a lot of this has to do with something the studio wanted to do, and that was both Costner and Russell had their own views on how they felt the movie should be presented. Costner wanted the film to be a more action-oriented film, and Kurt Russell wanted the movie to be a bit more funny and focus more on the relationship between Kurt Russell's character and Courtney Cox. The studio then allowed them to put them in front of test audiences, and well, what I guess we got was a blend of both of those cuts, because it's not either of those things. This movie isn't cut to be an action film, and this movie isn't cut to be a comedy. It's just a movie. What I mean is that this film has the bones of a good movie. All the elements are there. There's some really good action. There's some really good funny parts. There's some really good characters. And there's a really good concept for a movie. I mean, come on, 5 guys dressed up like Elvis do a big casino heist in Las Vegas during the International Elvis Convention? I mean, this movie was gonna be awesome, right? It had Tarantino written all over it. But what we got was, this is how the movie goes. The first act of the film is pretty cool. That's when we get the actual heist of the film. And there's a lot of excitement and everything like that. Well, then everybody has to run from the law. And that's when the movie really slows down to a crawl. The whole second act just doesn't even feel like the same movie. And the movie stops being funny, and the movie stops being an action movie for a good 30 minutes, and then finally picks up the action, but not so much the funny. Basically, this is the kind of movie that I've talked talked about that deserves a remake. It didn't do so great at first, but there's such a good concept there. I don't know, hand this over to some young, hungry director and let them get some nobody actors who just want to get their names out there and see what they come up with. Because I'm telling you, the bones of a good movie are definitely here. The right person just needs to pull them out and build a beautiful body over them bones. So if you're curious and you've got nothing but time on your hands and a Prime subscription, well, guess what? You can watch 3,000 Miles to Graceland right now. If you don't have a subscription to Prime, don't worry. You can still rent it on Prime, Google Movies, and YouTube. Okay guys, that brings us to the end of another Film Geek video. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's another thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.